Everyone misses this when they're trying to change a habit, and then they're really confused about why they're not able to change. So there's something that's really important when it comes to behavior change, habit change, when in terms of psychology, and this you will need to do ahead of time in order to be able to successfully change a habit. And that thing is to know what your mind will say to you when you're trying to change, when you're trying to do the new behavior. So let's use an example. Let's pretend that I want to start working out. And I decide that I'm going to work out in the morning. And I'm determined to do this, and I'm feeling super optimistic. And I go to sleep, and I'm like, yeah, this is it, new me, whatever. And then I wake up in the morning. And what does my mind do? It will typically discount the new behavior. So what that means is that it will tell you that, it's really not worth it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's probably a good idea, but you know what? Being sleep deprived is really bad for you. And you can always do it tomorrow. And you know what? Actually, you could probably go work out in the afternoon. So why don't you stay in bed? And you can do it in the afternoon, and that will probably be better for you because, you saw all of these links on the internet about how getting enough sleep is actually more important. So let's do that. Let's go back to sleep. And then you go back to sleep. And then in the afternoon, your mind tells you, oh no, today was really busy. So we can't do it this afternoon because it was unusually busy. And you know what? Like, it's kind of too hot. Like, it's probably not good to work out when it's this hot. You'll lose a bunch of electrolytes, blah, blah, blah. And so what your mind will do when you're trying to do something new, because the mind really wants to remain homeostatic and it wants to save energy. It doesn't want you to do these new things. It'll try to create almost like an immune response against the new behavior. And what that looks like is these types of thoughts. So if you're somebody that wants to create a change in your life, what I really encourage my clients to do is to actually list out all of the thoughts that your mind will give you in order to stop you from doing this behavior. And obviously you probably won't get all of them all in the first go, but as you keep trying to change, you're going to get more and more thoughts that you'll notice, and then you'll have a list. And once you know what your mind will tell you in order to try to sneakily get you to not do the thing in the moment, it makes it so much easier to discount what your mind is saying. To be like, oh yeah, well, I knew you were going to say that, so your argument doesn't work on me because I knew you would use that whole sleep argument thing, and I anticipated it, and I even can maybe have something to say back. So that's usually the second step that I have my clients do. As for the kind of 5 maybe most emotional arguments the mind makes, I want you to have a response. So maybe to the sleep one, you could say well, I'll sleep better if I exercise, something like that. So for every kind of sabotaging thought that your mind will create, you're going to want to have a ready response. Because oftentimes, in the morning, we're tired, we're weak, or whenever your behavior change that you want to do is occurring, you're going to have days where you just don't feel like it. Most days in the beginning, you're not going to feel like it, and your mind is going to try to resist you. So it's really important not to be overly optimistic when you're trying to change behavior in humans, because we do have this kind of immune response against new things in the mind, because the mind is trying to save energy and it's trying to remain homeostatic. And so in order to counteract that, we need to be ready, and we need to be prepared with statements of what to say back when our mind tries to sabotage us. So if this is you, if you're struggling changing a behavior, I really encourage you to try this method, because oftentimes this can be the missing piece.